Yo, what's going on, Danny? Hope you're doing well. It's going all right. I probably would have streamed last night, but I was pretty tired when I got home, so. No, I didn't have any energy drinks. I haven't had any since last Tuesday, I think. Yo, what's going on, Arma? Hope you're doing well. Nice. Daffy Duck socks. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I had some stir fry, beef stir fry. That was pretty good. Now I'm eating some chocolate banana peanut butter dessert things that I got. Adjust my mic a little more. Yeah, I think it's better. Started watching Tales from the Dark Side, which I got the other day. It's interesting because people say it's like the Twilight Zone, but it's a lot different than I think the Twilight Zone. I mean, the idea, I guess, is that like every episode is supposed to be like a different story. But some of the episodes I've watched, I don't know. It's like I don't fully like understand, I guess, the story, because like stuff just kind of happens, but then they don't always explain why it happens. So I guess it kind of leaves you to wonder, like, why the stuff is happening. Like the very first episode is called Trick or Treat, and it's about oh wait a minute, I'm not supposed to go there yet. It's about this guy in this town, and basically, like everybody in the town, like he runs a store, but like everybody owes him money, so they keep giving him IOUs, and he does this thing, I guess, every Halloween, where he has the children come to his house, and he hides all the IOUs in his house. And if any of the children can find them, then he like just erases all their parents' debt. But none of the children ever find them because he ends up having all these traps and stuff in his house to scare the kids so that they end up leaving before they can find the IOUs. And so that's like kind of, the whole thing. And then at some point, a witch shows up, and it's not explained why there's a witch, but there's just a witch, and the witch just shows up and then takes all of the IOUs and then just basically gives them to like one of the kids who shows up, along with like money and jewels and other valuable things that the guy had like stashed away in his place. And then it just kind of ends. And it's like, okay, so we're not going to like explain why there was a witch or anything. Like, I'm told that like the first season is kind of not that great, but it gets better as it goes along. Once you get into like the second season, it starts to pick up. But I don't know. I guess we'll see whenever I get there. But I also want to get Tales from the Crypt at some point, because I've heard that's pretty good. Yeah, I can't believe I'm already like this far in the game. I do have enough to get the experience booster. Except if you equip it, your attack and your defense goes down. So it's like, well, Mario and Mallow's attack goes down. I guess I could equip it on one of the others. I would like to have that so that I could level up a little faster. I think I can equip it on Bowser, because that won't mess up his stat. Well, actually, now I've got Peach, so I want to switch Bowser out, so I'll equip it on Peach. Okay. And then I'll switch Bowser out for Peach. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Alright, I have to go to the ship. I actually almost forgot what I was supposed to do when I started, because it'd been more than a few days since I played this. Enough coins. Let's see, what do I have? Okay, he's already got the super hammer and the handgun. Okay, I probably want to get those, but I don't have enough money. I can sell the finger shot and the cymbals and the punch glove. And I guess I'll sell the jump shoes. I can get rid of these, I guess. And then I can buy the dress. Alright, cool. That'll work. Okay. There we go. Nice. Okay, that's where it came from. The only thing I really have trouble timing are is the defense. But I think I've always had trouble with that. It's going to be really cool when I finish this and then have it all uploaded to YouTube. This will be like my first full playthrough that I've ever had uploaded to YouTube. And I'm uploading it to my new channel because my new channel didn't have anything on it, so... And he just runs away. Alright, Geno leveled up. Forget which way I want to go, but I do want to see what's down here. Oops, I did not mean to go back down there, but now I have to go back around. That was an accident. I think another playthrough I'd like to do at some point. I mean, I've played through it before, but I've never like recorded it for a playthrough. Well, actually, I tried to once, and I never finished it. But I'd like to. I'd like to play through Incredible Crisis again. I know I talk about that game a lot, but it's just kind of a fun, quirky Japanese game that I've never recorded for a playthrough. I mean, I tried to once, and I had some problems or something being able to do it, so... One thing that kind of blew my mind was I found out recently that there was an arcade version of it, which I have on my Pi, and basically you just play random mini games from the actual game. There's not like a storyline like on the PS1 version. it just picks like random games and then you play those games. Yeah. Your way. Yeah, I was so excited when I found out that somebody made, well, actually on TeePublic, that they had an Incredible Crisis shirt. I was like, oh, I'm buying that immediately. Incredible Crisis for PS1. It's kind of like, well, I started to say it's kind of like WarioWare. It's like WarioWare in the sense that it's like a bunch of mini games, but yeah, I'd like to do a playthrough of that and record it sometime. I mean, I still remember like I was a kid and I had like, I don't remember what magazine it was, but I had some gaming magazine and they had an article about Incredible Crisis. It was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And I remember saying, like, I have to find this game. And every place that I went to, no place I went to had it. And then I finally went to a GameStop and they had it used. And I bought it and I played through it. And one of my best friends in high school, I was like, you gotta check this game out, dude. It's crazy. And so I let him borrow it. And I guess he misunderstood and thought that I was basically giving it to him to keep. So I never got it back. But I think that was more my fault than his, because he was a good dude and I don't think he would have like taken it intentionally. I think he just misunderstood that he thought I was giving it to him to keep, because I actually did have a game. I think it was for PS2. It was Taiko Drum Master, and I actually let him have that game because, like, I played it. I was done with it after a while, and I was just like, "You want it?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So it would have been easy for him to think that, "Oh, he's just giving me another game to keep." So. But then, like, years later, after I graduated, I bought it again. I think I bought it on eBay or something. I bought another copy of it. I think those guys you might only be able to kill with special attacks. I think I remember that. But, you know, I just kind of like weird, quirky, like Japanese games. And that certainly fits the bill. But yeah, there's a few games that I want to do like playthroughs of. I want to do Ocarina of Time because I've actually never beaten that game. So that might be one of the next ones. I think every time I played through that game, I something happened and I'd get like distracted and I just never finished it. And sometimes I'd get distracted because I'd be too busy playing like the mini games and stuff in that, you know, instead of actually trying to beat it. So I can't remember if it was Dorkly or it might have been College Humor, but somebody did this animation where the joke was like that Link couldn't finish the quest because he got too distracted by like all the other side quests. And I thought like, yeah, it's me every time I play that game. They tell him like that he's gotta save Hyrule, and he's like, yeah, but this woman, she's lost her chickens, and she said that if I bring back all of 4 chickens, then I get a special item or something like that. I would say that's probably the only Zelda game I've played somewhat like extensively. Because I never had an NES, so I never got to play the NES Zeldas. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Okay. I already know what the password is, but if I can get some items out of these, I'll probably just do it to get the items. First try. I usually never get that one first try. I remember having a little trouble with the maze. Just jump around until I figure it out. There we go. Just doing this to get the items. Do I want to go for that chest? I can't remember what's in it. Maybe. Might just be coins, I'm not sure. Yep. Nope, well, I can't run away because he's blocking me. You end up using a lot of flower points because a lot of the enemies can only be killed by special attacks. But yeah, this is usually the party I use to beat the game. Mario, Peach, and Geno. I feel like I've probably tried it with Bowser, but I don't know. Alright, Peach leveled up. I always had trouble with this one. Cool. No, I didn't get any items that time. The only thing I may have to look up is how to get the lazy shell again. I know it's 2 items that you have to get. And I think I remember where to get one of them, but I'm not sure if I remember where to get the other one. All right. Alright, let's see. I think I remember the password. No. I always remember the password. Alright. I don't mind, actually, that one of the things that they added is that when you attack one enemy, it does damage to the rest of the enemies. I actually don't mind that, because it does kind of help the battles move a little faster. Yeah, that would be interesting. Probably should have got some cleansing juice. Oh no, I have cleansing juice. Oh, I didn't realize I had any of that. Well, good. That works out. I think this is one of the first games I bought when I got a Switch 2, because it was the first game I remember that I'd been wanting to play, and I said, well, if I ever get a Switch again, or if I get a Switch 2, I'm going to get this, because I always wanted to check it out. Well, I had a Switch a long time ago. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't paying attention. I had a Switch a long time ago. I got rid of it, so. And I wasn't sure I was going to get a Switch 2, but then when I found out it was backwards compatible, I thought, well, that would be good for me, because I could get all the Switch games I wanted, and then I could also get the new ones when they come out, so. I mean, I had a Switch, like, when they first... Well, I don't know if it was when they first came out. It might have been, like, maybe the year after they first came out. Yeah, I guess I just kind of got bored with it or something. I don't really remember. I mean, this was years ago. But I'm glad that I have a Switch 2 now, because I get to go back and play a lot of games, and I also get to play the new stuff as it comes out. I just saw on online today, they said they came out with a free app you can download, and I guess it's just a Mario thing, like in Mario 64 when you load it up and you can mess with his face. So they just made a free app where you can do that, I guess. I don't necessarily know that's something that I'm going to download, but They said it's more for, like, I guess little kids that might want to do that. Oh, yeah, I guess I could be using specials. Well, good thing I have a lot of pick-me-ups. Right. The only thing, well, there's a couple of things that I probably won't be getting. One is the attachment thing for the Virtual Boy, because I don't really care about that. And the other thing is, I didn't really care about the camera that they came out with. Because I'm like, if I end up playing games online with any of my friends, I'm not really going to need a camera. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's neat, but it's probably not going to be something I need. So I feel like they said you could plug in your own camera if you have one that plugs in. I don't know if that's true or not. I thought I read that, but I mean, yeah, it does look pretty cool, but if I bought it and didn't end up using it, then probably the only reason I'd buy it would be if all my other friends that had Switches or Switch 2s, if they bought it, then maybe I would. I forget if I'm supposed to go up or down. Well, I can't do anything that way. Right. I mean, I don't even use a camera that much when I stream, you know. I mean, I tried using it one time when I did Turntable Tuesday, like to show the records, but I couldn't really find like a good way to actually do that. So I just opted not to do it again. I guess I've just never been much of a on-camera kind of streamer, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Just wanted to see if anybody was close to leveling up again. Yeah, I tried on camera once, and everybody said that, like, it was better if I didn't show my face. So I just opted not to ever show my face again. I actually, to be fair, I used to use a webcam in the early days when I streamed. I did that for a while. And then what happened was, I think I got rid of the webcam that I had. So I just didn't have a webcam for a long time. So I I couldn't have even done it if I wanted to because I didn't have a webcam. And then I got another one to use for Zoom. But honestly, most of the time, I don't even think about it. But I think, well, they might not be on YouTube anymore. I had some clips from my old streams where I used webcam back then, but they might not be, the clips might not be online anymore. I'm actually probably one of the few people that doesn't use a webcam. I'm really bad with dodging these attacks, apparently. Okay, Mario's about to level up, so that's good. I'm gonna have to buy some more pick-me-ups after I get through with this area. It would be cool if they made another Mario RPG game at some point. Like whether it was a sequel to this game or just a new RPG game. Okay, that does work. Cool. Well, good thing I have all these pure waters. It's not like I'm going to be using them for much else. Mario levels up, so that's good. Oh, good. That'll help out if I ever run out of pick-me-ups. Oh, okay. Down here's where I want to be. Yeah, if you've played this game enough, you know, it can go by pretty fast. I just think it's a fun game to play It's also a fun game to watch people play through, and I've watched a few people play through this. I've watched some people on YouTube, and I've watched a few people on Twitch. Oh, God damn! I meant to target him, not the Goomba. Right. Ah, damn. I forgot he was resistant to that. Yeah, I've never actually played Earthbound. I do have a friend who streamed it once, and I was there to watch all of the streams. This was years ago. It was probably the first time I ever really saw that game because I never watched anybody play through it before. Well, my timing is really off. Oh fuck, that's not good. Shit. Fuck, I don't know. Can I do this now? Well, I timed that wrong. Ah, damn it. Well, it's been saying this guy's almost down for several turns. How much more has he got to go? Finally. Still gotta beat these guys, though. Oh, that was close. Okay, what does the safety badge do? Yeah, but it brings all my other shit down, which is not great. I may have to... Wait a minute, let me see my items. I may have to go back and get some more mushrooms and shit. Well, let's see. I can use... Okay, well I can do that. And I'll save. And maybe I'll be able to do this without mushrooms. We'll see. Mr. Kipper. Another game I thought might be interesting to stream would be that the other WarioWare game I have. Except I think for that one you have to stand up. So that would be a hard one to stream if I have to be standing the whole time. WarioWare Move It, I think it's called. I actually beat the other one because I have the 2 ones for Switch, but I haven't beat Move It yet. I think I've only played that a little bit. Alright, coming up on the boss. I do like that once you beat Jonathan Jones, he ends up being a friend later. Wow. Can't wait till I get my new chair in, because this one's not very comfortable to sit in anymore. I think I'm supposed to be getting it on Wednesday, so... Alright, here we go. Trying to figure out the timing on those stabs, but I'm just doing it wrong, I guess. Why doesn't work on him? Forget if he's weak to anything. One fight I always had trouble on was the fight in Nimbus Land, the boss fight, because much like this, there's a part where they take one character aside and then you have to go one-on-one, and I always had a hard time with that. Usually because I didn't have like enough items to get me through. Boy, I don't have a lot of health left. This could be bad. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Oh, good, good. I got worried there for a minute. Best viewers. Thank you, Danny, for being on top of that. I appreciate it. I already have the best viewers, though. Why would I need other best viewers? Ooh, ah, I love that. That's great. I'm glad you got that finished. Did you ever figure out what was going on with paint.net? Did you get that fixed, or did it just kind of fix itself? Weird. Yeah, when I Googled it, apparently that was like a common issue that a lot of people were having with it. Back to Seaside Town. Actually, now I think about it, I probably want to get some items before this fight. I know that this part, if you refuse like so many times and then you get the star, you go to the elder's house, and if you don't refuse like right off the bat, then he'll give you an item later. But I think if you refuse and he gets tortured a bunch, then you don't get whatever item it is he gives you. Which I didn't know as a kid, so I just, I didn't even think about it. But I am going to go to a different town just to get some items real quick. Because I want to get some mushrooms and... Well, I guess I could go to Marymore. Because I know this is going to be a big boss fight, so... I want to stock up while I can. Oh, and I have a lot of coins now, so that'll be good. I don't sell pick-me-ups, though. I would like to get some pick-me-ups because obviously Peach can do that now too, but I'd still like to get some just in case. I'm trying to remember if they sell them in Moleville or not. Every place I go, they don't sell the one thing that I'm looking for. I can't remember Rosetown. Surely Rosetown has pick-me-ups. Also, it's just nice to hear the Rosetown music again. There we go. I'll just take some cleansing juices too, just in case. And I'll just get some regular mushrooms. That way I have a little bit of everything. Should be alright now. I always forget if they're weak against anything. No, it's better to just use regular attacks, it looks like. Oh, it's a good thing I bought pick-me-ups. Oh yeah, because wasn't it Yardovich or something? Now it's Spiridovich. Yeah. That's kind of weird. Makes me wonder if they changed any of the other enemy names. Oh boy, that was bad. I mean, I guess to be fair, it makes more sense because he is a spear, but I don't know why they didn't just call him that in the first place then. Because I don't imagine, like, this was like the Japanese name or something. They probably just thought it sounded better, so they changed it. Oh shit, that was not good. I knew I was going to need items before this fight. I remember getting this guy as a kid, and I was very underleveled. So this fight, like, took forever. No, oh. I hit the wrong button. Well, I wasted a mushroom. Well, we got him. Cool. I forget what the guy gives you, but he gives you some item, I think. Okay, a flower box. Well, that's good. He's got sensitive nostrils. Alright, I'm just going to save real quick. There is one thing that I don't have to do, but if I can remember to do it, I might do it. I don't have to go to Yoster Isle, but just for the purposes of the playthrough, I might do just to show it off. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, so I just have to be jumping when he does that. I remember I could never do the race as a kid because I always got the timing wrong. I think it's a little easier to do in this version, but on the Super Nintendo it was always hard for me. I'm gonna try to see if I can do this. I'm gonna do the tutorial again just to be safe. A and B. Alright. Wow. Yeah, I'm way off. Why am I so off? I'm pushing them like it's telling me to. Maybe there's like a delay or something. Yeah, there must be, because I'm not getting this at all. Try it one more time. Oh, we'll just try it, and if I screw up, I screw up. Ah, I was close towards the end. All right. Yeah, I'm way off on this. I'll give it one more shot. If I can't do it, then we'll just move on. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. At least that's not like mandatory or anything. I have done it before, but I'm just wondering if there's like a delay or something. Because I'm running through the capture card. All right. Okay, now I gotta remember where I'm supposed to go. Entrance to Monster Town, okay. Okay, I think I'm going the wrong way. I had to look it up real quick. Okay, here we go. That's what I needed to hear. Okay, there we go. Cool. Mario leveled up again. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it was raining a little bit earlier here. Ah, damn it. I meant to put that on her, not him. Oops. Ah, shit. Welcome in, Quack Attack Gaming. Hope you're doing well. We're on our way to Monstro Town. Whoop. Oh, yeah. The Sky Bridge. Wow, 8 coins. Yep. The secret cave. I didn't know there was a secret cave. Oh, well. Either I'll have to get it on the way back, or if I can't get it on the way back, then I guess I'll just have to forget about it. Well, no, I probably could go back, I guess. It's not that far. You mean this hole? Or is there another one? Well, I can't jump in that one. Okay. Oh, maybe I have to trigger the horse again. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, crap. Oh, I fell off immediately. Do that again. Ah. I thought I could just sit there and let the platform fall. Oh, damn, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Well, I got it, I guess. Right. Yeah, I gotta get the timing down on that. I have not. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. I haven't actually played it before. Yeah, I mean, I might end up playing it at some point. Yeah, I just want to get across. I don't really care about the coins. All right. Cool. Gino leveled up. Yeah, I've heard it's a pretty good game. I've seen other people play it. I've just never tried it myself. But I'm going to make a list of like the stuff that I want to play through. And then try to go down that list, I think. Cool. Nice. Yeah, we're making good progress. Alright, got a lot of level ups. I learned Ultra Jump. Alright, sounds good. Definitely, I was talking about this earlier, definitely going to do Ocarina of Time. And then there's a few games that I just never had the opportunity to record a playthrough for that I'm going to do once I finish this. Alright. I got a Yoshi cookie. I've never beaten Ocarina of Time, but I would like to try and beat it. And I have to try to do this the right way. Yeah, I've only really played Ocarina of Time. I haven't played too many of the 3D ones. Yeah, okay. Ugh. Alright, time to fight this guy again. Yeah, I've never actually played Wind Waker. Right. I guess I could just use regular attacks. They do about as much damage. Yeah, I've not played any of those. Well, at least I have a lot of cleansing juices, so that helps. More fire points. Cool. Alright, let me just swap Geno back in. Yeah, I did used to rent Ocarina of Time a lot, but I just never ever finished the game. Yeah. Well, now that I think about it, I guess I did play Breath of the Wild, but only briefly. That was a long time ago. I don't really remember very much. Get some of these. I think I'm okay on everything else. Oh, do they? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, this is. Yeah, I don't need to do the Jinx stuff. Need to go to. I think we're going the wrong way. We go back to Land's End, I think. Oh yeah, the Game Boy. Yeah, I probably got enough for that. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about that fight earlier. I used to have trouble with it as a kid. I think I'm going the right way. Right. Wait a minute, I might not actually go the wrong way. Right, because this is back to Monstro Town. Second, I just gotta pull something out. Okay, just 1 second here. Okay, no, I am going the right way. Okay. Yeah, I just had to move my mic for a second, so that's probably why. Okay, here we go. I pushed jump. Come on. Okay, I thought I pushed jump. Yep. Push jump at the right time, and then he walks off. Oh, come on. Oh my god, I'm sad. Jump too far. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I did hear about that actually. I've never actually played any of the God of War games though. I wanted to play Ragnarok, but I just never got around to buying it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't really say much because I never played the originals, but most of the time I'm against censorship in most things. I mean, it depends on what it is, but you know, generally I think things should be kind of just left the way that they were before. Oh boy. Right. I don't know if Ultra Jump, if this guy's even weak to that. Oh, actually, he is very weak to that. Okay. Right. I feel like I was going to get one of the God of War collections, I think, on like PS3 at one point, but I just never got around to it. Oh shit, that's not great. I mean, when I was growing up, you know, like Mortal Kombat was like the most violent video game out there. Jesus Christ. Oh, why didn't I do the ultra jump? I forgot about that. I mean, I don't have enough flower points. Oh, for Pete's sake. I didn't think it was going to be this tough fighting a treasure chest. Alright. Some parents, and keep in mind, this is not me saying like all parents, but some parents just, you know, I think they don't know how to parent properly. I mean, and to be honest, this is coming from somebody who both of his parents didn't really know how to parent properly, so I can kind of say that. I mean, my parents, there were some things that I think they did right, and then there were some other things that maybe not so much. But I see a lot of things with parents these days. It's like when I was a kid, if my parents took me somewhere and I acted up and they were like, if you don't stop acting up, then, you know, like, we're going to take you home. And if I kept on acting up, then they took me home. But I see parents that will tell their kids, like, you know, if you don't quit acting up, then we're leaving. And then they just don't leave. And I'm like, you can't say that you're going to do something and then not like follow through with it. Because if that's the case, then they're just going to assume that they can do what they want and they're not going to get punished for it. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that every parent is like this. I'm just saying that I've seen a lot of parents that kind of, it's like rather than make the kid behave, they just tell them to like knock off the bad behavior. And it's like, well, yeah, you can say to your kid like, now you better cut that out, but if you don't actually like make him cut that out, then how's he gonna learn, you know? If I got out of line with my dad, you know, I got spanked. Sometimes maybe I didn't deserve it, but I'm sure there were a lot of times I did, but that's how I learned, you know? But it's tough because also I have to say, I mean, I'm not a parent. So I can only speak from the perspective of like a kid, not as an actual parent. And obviously, you know, you can't just go around. Well, I mean, you can go around making judgments on other people's parental skills. It doesn't necessarily mean you're right, but you know, And you're always going to run into somebody that's going to be like, well, don't you tell me how to raise my kid, you know. I used to say with certain parents, I used to say, well, if you would discipline your children properly, then I wouldn't have to explain how that works. But I see a lot of parents around here that make promises like they're going to punish their kids, but then they never follow through on those promises. You know, y'all, it's like you go to a restaurant and some kids acting up and they're like, well, if you don't stop this, we're going to leave. And you know immediately that they're not actually going to leave, because why would a parent actually follow through on something they say they're going to do? But excuse me, but to be fair, I've also seen parents that actually do follow through on that shit, you know? I mean, it's kind of rare around here, but I have seen some where it's like, all right, I said we were going to leave, we're leaving, and then they leave, you know? I just get annoyed sometimes, like, if I go to a restaurant or something and there's like, you know, there's like a table, like I'm sitting near a table and there's like a family and the kids are being loud, and either the parents aren't doing anything about it or they're just ignoring it. Like they're just pretending that the bad behavior doesn't exist. And that bothers me, because it's like, well, you know, either say something or do something, but don't act like, well, I'm just going to pretend this bad behavior is not happening. Like I'm just going to tune it out, you know. Because then the other people in the place, you know, they get annoyed by the fact that they're not doing anything about it. There's a restaurant downtown that I eat at sometimes. And I went there, this was probably a couple of months ago. And there was a family in there and they had 2 kids, I think. One of the kids, I think, was okay. The other kid was very loud and just making a bunch of noise. He was like beating on the table. And I'm just thinking, like, are they seriously not going to tell him to stop? Like, because this is pretty annoying. And I think one time they told the kid to knock it off because other people in the restaurant might not want to hear him making all that noise. And he just continued to do it. And then I sat there waiting for them to leave. And then finally the dad was like, okay, I'm gonna go pay the bill. And I'm thinking, great, that means they're gonna leave. And then he paid the bill, and I think they stayed another like 20-25 minutes. I'm like, oh geez. I didn't mean for that to turn into some long-winded rant about parents and children, but see, my problem was that I had 2 parents, both of which their parents weren't very good parents to them. So I think they didn't have very good like parental role models. So when I came along, they kind of didn't know what to do. Because my dad's father, you know, he wasn't the best dad to him. And kind of the same with my mom's father, so who I never met, but so I don't know. I'm not going to say I had like a real rough childhood, because compared to like other kids I knew. I didn't really, but it was just tough at times, you know. There were times when my dad was way too hard on me, and he probably shouldn't have been, but he didn't think about that at the time. And I don't know. It was different times back then, I guess. Back then, most of the parents I knew, you know, they would discipline their kids if their kids got out of line. But today I see a lot more parents that don't really do that. Okay, why? Okay, that was weird. Oh, wait a minute. Was I supposed to... I forget what I was supposed to do there. Because I think I do have to fight that guy at some point. Oh, yeah, he's over here. I got wrapped up in all that parental talk, and then I forgot what I was supposed to do. The only thing really I'll say, and this is just coming from somebody who's seen it a lot, I just think, you know, if you're going to make a promise, like if you're going to tell your kid, like, if you don't, you know, behave, we're leaving, then you should stand by that. Because if you go back on your word, then the kid's just going to assume that, well, I can act up, I'm not going to get punished. It's not like we're going to leave. I mean, because that's the way I thought as a kid. I thought like that my parents would say stuff like that, but they wouldn't mean it, but then they would actually prove to me that they did mean it. So I mean, that's how I learned to act right. If we were out someplace and I didn't want to go home, then I learned to behave myself. And some of that was just me misbehaving, and some of that was probably ADD or ADHD as well. Because I was a pretty active kid, but that was mostly because of ADHD. I couldn't really control myself. And it was interesting because I got punished a lot for behavior that I actually couldn't control. So, you know, that's always fun. You want to like explain to somebody like, hey, I'm not always purposely trying to be, you know, act like this. I just unfortunately have this ADHD where I can't help myself sometimes. And I was on medication for it for a while. That didn't really do much either, but I mean, when I was growing up, stuff like Ritalin and Adderall, both of which I took, that was like relatively new stuff at the time. Like those medications had like just come out. And medication works differently for everybody, because I've heard people that have been on those medications say, no, that actually made me more wound up after I took them. than before, and then I've heard people say that it was the opposite. So everybody's different, I guess. But you know, a lot of my friends, especially a lot of my Twitch friends, are parents, and I would never say to them like, you know, anything about how to raise their kids because it's not my place to, and not that I think that, you know, I would need to anyway, but you know, I saw a lot of things too when I worked my last job when I was at the grocery, because you know, you'd have kids come in there all the time and they'd be, oh shoot, I think I used the mushroom that turns you into a mushroom by accident. But parents would always bring their kids in, and some parents would just let their kids run around the entire store, and they just, you know, they didn't care, you know. Cool. I had to deal with a woman once. They wanted me to help her out to her car with her bags, and her son got down on the floor, on like just laid flat down on the floor, and refused to get up. And she literally had to grab him and like stand him up and be like, "We're going to the car now." And he was yelling and screaming the entire time. And here I was, and I had to help her out to her car, and I was just wanting to get the job done as soon as possible so that I could go back inside and not have to deal with that. I got the seed, and I know I have to get the fertilizer, I think it is, to get the lazy shell. I'm probably going to end around 10, so we'll just see how far we get before 10, because that'll be a good cutting off point, I think. And then probably, well, the next time I'll stream will be Tuesday for Turntable Tuesday, and then I'm going to try to stream every either Saturday or Sunday night for this. And then we'll just keep going until we beat it, and then I'll move on to something else. I would like to do another art stream too, and some weekend I might do that in place of this, just for one weekend. We made it to Nimbus Land, so that's good. These people are so stupid. Like, you would think they would realize that the prince would maybe have at least some passing resemblance to what they look like. And clearly it's just a giant fucking toucan or whatever. And they're just like, oh, well, she says it's the prince. I guess it must be the prince. I mean, What do I know? Well, and Mallow's not much smarter either. Oh man, there's a prince with the same name as me. Gee, what a coincidence. Definitely gonna need more mushrooms. Or pick-me-ups. I think Mega Glove's better than what I have. All these are better than what I currently have. I like that you can just automatically, you can just equip stuff from the menu here. I think that makes it easier. Let's see if we can at least get inside the castle before we cut off. I just gotta remember where the sculptor guy is. Yeah, there he is. But yeah, this is good. We've made a lot of progress tonight. Be done with this game in no time. I think if I can set it up, I might do Incredible Crisis next, just because that's not. I'm trying to think. I guess that's not super long if you're good at it. I'm gonna have to wear my Incredible Crisis shirt when I stream that one. Maybe I'll turn webcam on for that, just so everybody can see my Incredible Crisis shirt. Alright, we just want to get to the save point. Cool. Well, it's a little before 10, but we'll probably cut off there. But yeah, I made a lot more progress tonight, so that's great. And we'll do this again next weekend. So yeah, thanks Danny, thanks Arma, thanks Quack Attack, everybody that came and hung out. Next time I'll be streaming will be Tuesday for Turntable Tuesday. So yeah, thanks everybody. And actually, before I cut off here, let me see if anybody else is streaming. Oh wow, actually nobody else is streaming. Okay, I was gonna raid somebody, but looks like nobody's streaming. So, all right then. Well, have a good night, everybody, and I will catch you all later.